Hi everyone, I'm here today in my garden on Vancouver Island and I'm at the chicken coop right now and I'm going to be cleaning it out today. I'm going to do a full clean out. I actually only clean it out about twice a year because I do the deep litter method with their bedding. So we use pine shavings, wood shavings, and we let it sort of self-compost inside the coop, and then we clean it out twice a year and add that to our garden compost. So I've got my tools here, my wheelbarrow. I've already started to clean out our nest boxes. Right now we only have 8 chickens, so it's not a huge chicken operation. It's just enough chickens for our own personal egg consumption. So I've cleaned out the nest boxes. I will clean them a little bit better than that, but I'm just showing you that I'm going to clean all the bedding completely out. Not actually, doesn't even look like a lot in here, but there was a lot in here, but it hasn't been cleaned out in a few months, so it's all pretty compacted there right now. So we're going to take all this out, put it into our garden for composting over the winter, and we'll get it all freshly cleaned up in here for the ladies today. So I'm cleaning the chicken coop here, and I've just noticed my little spider friend here with a nest. So I am going to be cleaning up all of the spider webs from the coop, but I'm kind of thinking that I should just leave this little lady and her eggs alone, so I might just do that. So I'm inside my chicken coop. I just want to show you the level of dust and spider webs that I'm dealing with in here. So if you live on the West Coast, you know all about the level of spiders that we have over here. So all summer long, these guys have been building webs and nests inside this coop. So I've got to clear it all out today. Okay, so here's the final resting place for our chicken bedding. This is our compost pile right in the garden. So this chicken bedding has been aging in the coop for a few months already. It's mixed in with some straw from the nesting boxes, but all this goodness is just gonna go straight on top of our compost pile, and it will be amazing in the spring for the garden. You probably don't want to put this type of bedding directly onto your plants or onto your garden beds because it needs some time to compost, and it will be too strong, too hot for plants at this stage. Okay, so I've finished just taking out all the old bedding and I'm pretty happy with the result. Just wanted to mention here that, as you can see, we finished our chicken coop with linoleum on the floor, and that was probably like the best decision ever. So I'd highly recommend doing that. Makes cleanup super easy. You're not going to get rotting wood, and it's just like sweep everything out, and you can even clean up the floor with a cleaner if you need to. But I think long term that is the way to go. So I've got the wood shavings here. I'm going to be putting those in. So the wood shavings that we use, this new bag here is 100% pine, it looks like, but the other bag that I'm using is a mixture of pine, spruce, and fir. So I guess it's just depending on what wood chips you have available, but I'm using about 1 1/4 bale today, and we'll see how full it gets. So 1 1/4 bale filled up pretty good. I think I'm pretty happy with that level. It's probably, you know, a few inches deep. My hand can go into there. So this will get compacted pretty quickly, but because we're using the deep litter method, I will just keep adding more shavings on top of this throughout the winter, and then we won't need to clean this out again until spring. And now we're going to fill up the nesting boxes. So I've used hay in the past, but I did get a bale of straw last year, which I'm still working on. So I'm going to keep using the hay. And this was like a shortcut compressed hay, so it's not like the big long hay. I don't think I would buy it again because a lot of it's just dusty parts at the very bottom, so it's not the greatest, but I'm gonna use it up. We'll fill up the nesting boxes. So I filled up all the nesting boxes with that hay mixture that I showed you, so the girls can make use of that all winter. And I do still have some in the bucket that I will be filling up, topping up the nesting boxes. As it gets like pressed down, compressed, you can just add some fresh stuff on the top over the winter. No need to take it all out. If it does get dirty, like broken eggs or whatnot, what I'll do is I just scoop all this hay straight into the coop right on top of the other bedding, and then put some fresh hay into the nesting box. And then through the winter you can always mix up your bedding inside your coop just to mix up the poop and whatnot so that it starts composting through the winter. So I'm pretty happy. It took me about an hour to get this coop nice and clean, but the nesting boxes are good. I have swept and dusted the whole entire thing, so there's no more spider webs, with the exception of our one spider in her nest we're gonna keep. Got fresh bedding, so our girls are ready for the winter, and it's still warm enough that I'm keeping their window open. They do also have some ventilation at the top of the coop, so that's super important for your chicken coop as well. And they also have their that's how they get into their run, that little window there. So my next job for today is going to be to clean out their run, because it is ready for it. You can see the level of compost that's like in here. That's mainly all just chicken poop and leaves and bedding, whatever's come in here through the year. I'm gonna scoop it out and they can start fresh for the winter. So I'm in the chicken run now, and I'm gonna clean out the run. So you're not gonna believe how deep all this stuff is in the run, and you can see my shovel goes down quite deep, and all this stuff that I'm scooping out here is just compacted and composted manure and leaves. Every year I pile leaves in the chicken coop in the winter, the fall and winter, and everything just composts in place and gets so compacted down. I'm taking it out now, and it's perfect for my garden. So I've now dumped it in my garden, and I'm going to spread it all out. Okay, so I got a few wheelbarrows full of this compost out of the chicken run. I'm just going to leave the rest of it as is, just to keep the level up. So clean that all out. I'm raking up feathers and sticks and things that are in here from the year, so get it all nice and clean, and then I'm going to bring in some fresh leaves. Okay, so I've put all the leaves down and they are ready for the rain. So the main reason that I put these leaves down for them is to keep their feet dry and warmer. In the winter time here on the west coast, we get a lot of rain, so we end up with a big mud bath in here. So if you can have something like leaves or sand or wood shavings or wood chips, then it really helps your chickens to keep their feet warmer and drier and less problems with bumblefoot and that kind of thing. So I only put the leaves on that side. This little corner is reserved for their dust bath, because it's quite, it doesn't get wet on this side of the run, and it's pretty dusty, so they do like to make little indents in the dirt here and give themselves baths too. So now everybody's happy in their clean run, right guys? Yeah, they're enjoying their treats. And Fiona is checking out the leaves. Hi, Fiona.